Hello, magandang araw sa ating lahat. Welcome sa Bicol University Polangui Campus, Computer Studies Department, School Year 2021-2022. I am Joseph F. Morco, part-time instructor of this institution. By the way, I am currently connected with the Department of Education, Ligao City Division, and I was assigned in Bicol Regional Science High School. Currently, I am from Legazpi City. So based on the pronouncements by higher authorities of the institution, enrollment is still ongoing. I guess it is until August 14, if I'm not mistaken. So that is why we cannot have the final list or members of each class, particularly in this class under Web Systems and Technology. Nung mga nakalang araw, we created a group chats, right, for individual class. So we add the members, but that is not the final. So members of that group chats are not yet final. So we will be depending on the list that will be given by the university after the enrollment. And we are also going to create a Google Classroom for that. I will be adding the members, the official members of the class. So soon I'll be creating the Google Class and I'll be adding you. Now, for our class, according to the document that I signed previously, I was given the subject IT 112. I guess this is for third year, right? So I'll be handling two sections for this, the third year BSIT Block A and the BSIT 3B. So for our schedule, according to that one, the document that we have last time, for the Block A, our schedule will be Tuesday and Thursday. We also have a Saturday schedule. So for Tuesday and Thursday, we have 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 in the evening. We also have the Saturday classes, 4 o'clock to 7 in the evening. For those who are members of the Block 3B, we have Tuesday classes at 5:30 in the afternoon to 7:30 in the evening. We also have Wednesday class, 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening. Take note, class, that all the activities, all the lectures, online and offline lectures or lessons will be done during this time. Okay, so kailangan gagawin natin yung lahat ng task and activities, ito man ay maging online or offline, during this schedule only. Okay, so in order for us not to interfere with the other subjects, because I know you have also subjects from other teachers. Okay, hindi natin alam kung ano yung schedule na. So for Web Systems Technology, we are going to stick with this schedule. Okay? But kung gusto nyo gumawa ng mga activities outside of this, you can do that also during your free time. During, I guess, Sundays, if time permits. Okay po? So, but for us not to interfere with the other subjects, I want you guys to stick with our schedule. Of course, ganun din doon sa ibang subjects. So for this orientation, I'll be discussing some of the things that you have to know about this course, the IT 112, which is Web System and Technology. For the course description, since alam naman natin na today, most of the things that we do, most of the things that are around us, we are all aware of web applications. Everything now, lalong-lalo na today during this pandemic, most of the things that we do in our computer, in our cell phones, and in our gadgets are most, if not all, are web-based. Okay? And in this section of your class or of your course, we'll be discussing here web technologies. Okay, so what are these web technologies that we have now? Web technologies being used in business, in our schools, in public and private organizations, in social media applications. Okay, so we all know that diverse, multicultural, and multilingual user communities nowadays depend on web technologies. So this knowledge area covers the design, implementation, and testing. So we are going to, if the time would really permits, because alam naman natin, we are in a pandemic. We cannot do this, what we call face-to-face. Wala tayong laboratory. Ang laboratory ninyo is yung bahay ninyo, yung computer and gadgets that you have there in your own, in the comfort of your homes, right? So the knowledge that we are going to gain and cover is we have to design a web application. We will be creating a web application. And if you create a web application, of course, you have to implement it. And in implementing it, you have to test it. Okay? You have to test whether your application is working. Okay? It also includes related software. We're going to work here with databases, interfaces, and digital media. This course also covers social, ethical, and security issues arising from the web and social software. So, by the way, doon iikot ang ating course. Okay? Sa pag-alam, sa paggawa, sa pag-implement ng web application. And in the implementation of that web application, kailangan natin ng databases, kailangan natin ng some other related softwares, and some other digital medias. And in doing this, we also have to be, take note, be guided by ethical norm. Okay? So we have to take note of security issues. So lahat ng data na pumapasok doon sa ating web application, so you have to take good care of that. You cannot hand them over to anyone else. So that's a no-no in terms of ethical norm in computing. Okay, so that's the short description of what will happen in this course. Okay, and for another is what will be the learning outcome of this course, of these subjects, which is web systems and technologies. Number one is you have to apply the knowledge of computing, science, and mathematics appropriate to the discipline of web application, of course. Secondly is you have to understand what are the best practices and what are those standards and their applications. And the third one is you have to analyze complex and identify and define the computing requirements appropriate to its solution. So every organization, every application have or has its own computing requirements. Hindi pwedeng one is applicable to all. No. The fourth one is identify and analyze user needs and take them into account in the selection, creation, evaluation, and administration of computer-based system. So next is another learning outcome is design. Nasabi na natin kanina doon sa short description. You have to design, implement a system, a web system, and in the implementation of this system, you have to evaluate it. You have to evaluate the process, the components, and everything, or program to meet desired needs and requirements under various constraints. So next is you have to apply through the use of current techniques. So what are the latest techniques, trends? What are the latest skills, latest tools, and best practices necessary for this IT profession, the web system and technology? So iba yung skills ng web systems noon, different skills naman yung web systems ngayon. So what are those skills? Lastly is you have to understand professional. Not only understand, not only understand. Personally, if you're going to ask me, you don't need just to understand, but to live with. Okay, take note. To live with the what? The professional, ethical, legal, security, and social issues. Okay, and responsibilities in utilization of information technology. So iba yung naintindihan mo lang. Kailangan isinasabuhay mo. Okay, yung lalong-lalo na yung ethical norm in terms of information technology. Okay, so the next one is according to CMO number 25, the IT 112, which is Web System and Technology, is a 3-unit subject. So we'll be meeting 54 hours, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong about this data. 54 hours the entire semester. 2 hours lecture and 3 hours laboratory. Since we don't have a laboratory because of this pandemic, a situation that we have, maybe this laboratory will be your activities in the comfort of your houses and homes. And also according to CMO number 25, this subject, which is the Web Systems and Technology, is an elective one. Okay, this is just an elective. But of course, it is a major subject. Okay, so it is still a major subject. So as a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology enthusiast, what will be our primary role in the community, in the society? So after finishing this course, if the situations, everything will fall under our circumstances, what will be our job after this course? So anong pwede mong pagtrabahuan? You can be a web and application developer. Okay, that's number 1. Kaya nga in this course, sana if you will cooperate to this class, to me, and to the rest of our, or the members of this class. So I always say, even in my class in the Department of Education, na hindi lang pwedeng ako o ako. Okay? So I always encourage na every member of this class should cooperate, should lend a hand, should help, okay, your classmate. So, kung ikaw meron kang alam, huwag mo sarilinan. I encourage you to teach your classmates. So, learning should not always come from me. Learning should come also from one of you. Okay, so I encourage you to help one another so that at the end of this course, and not only at the end of this course, at the end of this journey sa Bicol University, lahat kayo ay makatapos. Lahat kayo ay aakyat sa stage. Lahat kayo gagraduate sa BS Information Technology. Not only because of your teacher, but also because of your classmates. Okay? So, ano pa yung pwede mong pasukan when you graduate? You can be a junior database administrator. Okay? So, you should be well versed in data administration. System ad. Okay? Network engineer. You can be a network engineer. You can be a junior information security administrator. Also system integration personnel, IT audit assistants, and you can be a technical support specialist. So, a specialist in technical things and computing. Okay, so yun yung ilan sa pwede mong pagtrabahuan when you graduate in this course. Another is, secondarily, you can be a specialist, a QA specialist, or a quality assurance specialist, systems analyst, and computer, also, of course, computer programming, or rather, computer programmer. So what are the competencies or the topics possible to this course? So since hindi pa tapos ang ating syllabus, and the syllabus is still undergoing revisions, possibly ito yung mga dapat natin malaman doon sa ating course. We have to discuss HTTP protocol. What are these HTTP? Okay, hypertext transfer protocol. So presentation abstraction. We have to discuss web markup and display languages. Programming under client side and server side. So what are these web services? What is this all about? Web servers. How do we do, or how do we set up a web servers? And some other emerging technologies. We also have to know what are these standards and what are the standard bodies in web technologies. Another competencies under web system information architecture is hypertext or hypermedia. What is this, or what are these hypertext and hypermedia? Also, the design, or the web design process, rather. That is the thing, or those are one of the things that we should know under this course. So I hope we should have more time to discuss all of this. So next competency or competences under web systems technology under digital media. We'll be discussing digital libraries. What are these libraries under web systems? What are the different media formats? Okay, capture, authoring, and different production tools. Okay, so I guess part of our lesson will focus on this one, but not all. What are these compressions and streaming medias? Next topic under web system technology, where we have web development. So we're going to create a web application. What are these web interfaces that we have? So website implementation, integration, database integration, accessibility issue. Okay, so those are the possible topics under web system technologies. So for this part, for the vulnerabilities, we'll be discussing client security and server security. So hindi naman pwedeng you run a web system or web application without doing these security things. Okay, if you do not do or implement security things on your part, okay, ano mangyayari? Of course, sooner or later, pasukin niya ng cookies, virus, okay, spywares, hackers, and so on. So, naalala ko nga in my previous employer, so I was then assigned as a network administrator, a system, something like that, system in charge. Okay, so one time our website was hacked. Okay, so napasok ang website, though that website employs a security. Okay, so still meron nangyaring security breach. So hindi lang doon sa company namin previously, but nangyari yon sa, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, entire Philippines. Okay, so maraming companies ang pinasok. So ng I guess hacker, something like that. So you have to be aware of securities in your web applications, in your server. Okay, your application is always vulnerable to this one. Okay, how do we secure server? How do we secure a host? Okay, how do we avoid this, what we call denial of service attack? Okay, so we're going to talk what is this. So what is this denial of service? Okay, so the next one is, what we're going to talk about is social softwares. What are these social softwares? Sinabi ng social media. Okay, social media softwares. So asynchronous and synchronous communication modalities, broadcast communication, collaborative and community modalities, and some of the ethical issues. Okay, so we're going to talk about not only ethical issues but rather legal issues under the freedom of information. No, under the ano ba yung batas under this one sa Pilipinas. Okay, so digital divide, freedom of speech versus hate speech, pornography, privacy, copyright, digital content rights. So lahat ito under doon sa information law, I guess, something like that. So we have a law. Kaya nga kapag nanloko ka sa web, pwede ka nang kasuhan. Noon, nung wala pang batas sa Pilipinas para dito, pag nanloko ka gamit ang computer, walang kaso sa'yo. But now, since we have this law, information law, I guess, diba? So we have to be aware of this one. We're going to talk some, maybe last part of this course, we'll be talking these issues. Okay, now let's proceed to our course requirements in order for you to pass the course. So anong gagawin natin since we are in the new normal? Okay, so hindi naman nagkakalayo yung mga requirements natin in terms of assessment doon sa requirements ng karamihan. So meron tayong standard. Pero since meron tayo ngayong meron tayo ditong academic freedom, still though we have academic freedom, we are going to follow the assessment standards or requirements ng ating university. Okay, hindi lahat sakop nitong academic freedom. So the assessment that will be used is categorized into two. Dalawa, meron tayong tinatawag na formative and summative assessment. So for the formative assessment, you will encounter here self-assessment. Okay, so you are going to assess yourself. Where are you in terms of learning? Okay, self-assessment. Quizzes. So in every module, I guess, or in every topic, we're going to have quizzes. So if time will always permit, we're going to have a quizzes in every module. Pero since we are in the new normal, hindi natin mapapromise na in every topic magkakaroon tayo ng quiz. Okay? So that are intended to aid you in learning and validate your gain knowledge in each lesson. So this will be, or this will not be recorded or graded, of course. Okay, so according to but we're going to have this one. Though it will not be graded, we are going to assess you through this one. So, mahirap kasi i-assess yung quizzes ngayong new normal, kahit yung ibang assessment. So, summative assessment will all be graded. Okay. So, yung formative assessment, hindi. Pero we're going to do that. Pero though it is not graded, yung formative assessment, you are required to submit it. Okay? For the summative assessment, so, by the way, wag lang tayong gagawa ng wag lang tayong magsusubmit ng assessment just for completion. Porket hindi recorded, hindi na tayo magsusubmit. So, kasama yun sa iyong class standing, of course. Summative assessment will all be graded. It will be in 3 forms. So, meron tayong first are activities at the end of each module. So, meron tayong activities. Kung doon sa previous years, ito yung mga laboratory activities. Since we are in the new normal, we're going to have activities in every module, and that is recorded. This will serve as an immediate feedback mechanism for you to know if you need to go back to the previous module. Of course, you have to pass, you have to accomplish the activities in each module because that will be recorded. Second are major outputs for term. So, meron tayong, I guess meron lang tayong, if I'm not mistaken, meron tayong dalawang term, midterm, at saka yung midterm, at saka yung final term. Okay, the details of each major output will be discussed on the first day of each term and can be accessed on the course site. Okay, so meron naman tayong, parang, I guess, handbook. Third are major exams per term. So, in every term, meron tayong major exams. Of course, rubrics will be used for the evaluation of your outputs whenever applicable and can be accessed on the course site, Google Classroom. Okay? Course site or Google Classroom. Another is for the assessment and course requirements. Expect that we are going to have quizzes in each modules to be uploaded in our classroom. Quizzes will be served as your class participation. Diba? Sabi ko sa inyo. Though quizzes are not recorded, it is part of your class participation. Summative tests will be announced, of course, by the instructor prior to the schedule in order for the student to be informed and be prepared. Kaya nga, doon sa GC natin, please always take a look please always, okay, look at our group chat. Okay, activities will be given in order to assess your knowledge and skills. Activities will be by group. Okay, pwedeng by group. Pero ito by group kasi since we are in the new normal, most probably hindi mangyayari yung ganito. Pero you can have a group, of course. You can have a virtual group or pwede namang individual. Okay, pero yung ginagawa ko kasi dito sa group, doon sa klase ko sa high school is that nagkakaroon din ako ng groups. Pero sabi ko sa kanila, see to it that yung kagrupo ninyo sa activity ay malapit lang sa inyo. And you have to ask permission doon sa inyong magulang para doon sa group activity. Pero kung hindi pumayag ang magulang, you will do it your own. Okay? So parang ganun nangyayari. Activity is output-based which will be graded using rubrics. So mayroon tayong rubrics na sinusunod. Formative activities will be given in order to practice your skills. Okay? It is recorded but not graded. Okay? Recorded but not graded. Pero it will serve as your class participation. Okay? Now, these are the course requirements. So, meron tayong test examination in the class. Meron tayong long test. We have midterm examination. We have final examination. And we have lesson activities. Another requirements, okay, computation of grades. How do we arrive at your grade? We'll be computing your grades according to these formula according to this percentage. So for the midterm, we have our lesson activities. Okay, so in every activity, since that is graded, lesson activity or module activity, that comprises of your grade, 30% of grade. For the long tests, if you have several long tests, that is 30%. And the major examination, we have 40%. So, well, do not attempt na, okay na, since nasa pandemic naman tayo, exam lang tayo. No. So, though you got 100% on the examination, but you fail to comply and to submit with the activities and tests, still, you will fail. Okay? For the semester grade, part of the grade, final grade, will be midterm, which is 40%, and the tentative final 60%. So all in all, we have 100%. Okay, so let's proceed now to the course policy or course policies. So for the ethical policies, students are expected to act with decorum in computing with the teacher and classmates. Take note, decorum in computing and teachers. In computing with teachers and classmates, rather, either be it on one-on-one or in discussion board. So proper etiquette is expected to you. Academic integrity policy. Number 1, this one. Plagiarism shall not be tolerated. Take note. Plagiarism. Ano yun? Copying. Okay? Copying without permission. Without asking permission, rather. Students caught found submitting papers copied from other. Okay? So in our case, submitting outputs, submitting web applications. Okay? That are available online. Okay, if you are caught, madali naman mahuli yan. Copying from others and presenting them as their own shall be given a failing grade, bagsak. Kaya don't attempt. Okay? So policies on absences and tardiness. We are currently using the distance mode of education, of course. There are no physical classes unless the university administration finds it safe already to have classroom lecturers. And for our language, okay, during our class, since nasa Bicol tayo and not all of us are in the same place, hindi tayo lahat nasa Polangui lang, hindi lahat nasa Ligaw, hindi lahat nasa Albay. So given the nature of our course, the language of instruction must be in English. Filipino may be used with permission of a teacher from time to time. Bicol is discouraged because of students come from various provinces with different distinct dialects. Okay? So ang Bicol, sa elementary lang I guess yun doon, sa grade 1 and 2, I guess. If I'm not mistaken. Another policy is use of learning management system. So meron tayong LMS. The class shall use the learning management system prescribed by the university. So kung ano yung LMS, I guess meron ang BU. Pero for us, gamit tayo ng Google Classroom. That will be our LMS. Use of mobile phones and gadgets. Since we are using the distance mode of learning, students are expected to have the necessary gadgets to access course materials. Okay? Special makeup, quiz, examination, or work. So makeup summative test will be given to students upon approval of their request for such from the department head. No makeup classes for formative test, of course. For our dress code, all students are expected to wear uniform during face-to-face. Since we don't have face-to-face, of course, you can wear whatever it is that is comfortable sa inyo. Okay, should there be a synchronous activity through online or Google Meet, a proper attire is expected among participants. Okay, huwag naman magsusuot ng sando, maghuhubad, o nakabikini, bawal yan of course. Okay, so proper attire. Okay, huwag naman yung makaswak. You can have your pambahay na damit, basta okay siya. Okay. Now, during our virtual classes, what will be our rule? Okay. So we have virtual class rule. you are encouraged to attend synchronous meetings. Of course, encourage. Bakit encourage? Kasi alam naman natin na we are in the new normal. Not all of us have this, what we call, devices. Well, hindi lahat sa atin mayroong laptop. Hindi lahat sa atin mayroong mobile phones. Okay? Mayroong yung iba, mayroong mobile phones, pero very limited naman yung capacity. That is why, as much as possible, okay? So if you have the means to attend synchronous classes or meetings, please do attend. Okay? Because ang synchronous classes natin ay hindi naman ito araw-araw. As instructed by our superiors doon sa taas. So, dinidiscourage yung everyday na synchronous. As much as possible, sabi nila, once a week na synchronous. Kasi nga, because of constraint in terms of technological capacity. That is why hindi pwedeng araw-araw yung synchronous classes. The schedule in posting study guide and conducting class activities will restricted based on given a schedule. Yung sinabi ko nito kanina. As per teaching appointment of your instructor and in your COR. Diba? So, posting, conduction of activities, dun lang as much as possible. Pero, kung gagawin nyo sa ibang oras, make sure na walang matatamaan na ibang subjects. Okay? So, take the quizzes religiously. Submit your output on or before the due date. Summative tests and major examinations must be taken on the given schedule. Okay, students who fail to take the given test on the scheduled date will no longer be recommended and must ask permission from the department in order to be granted another set of tests. So observe etiquette in participating class activities. Posting of comments in forums, attending video conferencing, and so on. Students with no submission and inactivity during midterm. Take note, during midterm, inactivity of submission may be given a dropped grade after the instruction have exhausted all the means necessary to contact. So, I'll be contacting all of you. Sana wala namang mangyari na ganito na kailangan kayong i-contact, kailangan kayong bahay-bahayin para lang doon sa para lang hindi kayo madraw. Okay, so let's all be cooperative. Okay, I really need your cooperation sa klase na to because alam naman natin, we have this kind of situation. Okay, so balikan natin. So yung virtual classrooms, it is still pwede ba ito magbago? Depende sa magiging agreement natin or depende sa magiging situation. It will be revised. Depende. Okay pa? So, I just presented some of the possible things that we have to add here during virtual class. Okay? I hope you get it all. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is my profile, my contact numbers, and my personal details. Instructor's profile. I am Joseph Fulier Morco. It pronounces as Fulier. Okay, a part-time teacher in BUPC. So currently, I am employed in BRSHS, Bicol Regional Science High School, Ligao City. So if you want to contact me, you can send me a message via mobile phone at 0933-516-8178. You can reach me also in my Facebook account, Joseph Fulier Morco. And my email is joseph.morco@deped.com.ph. By the way, meron pa ata niya isa yung sa Bicol University. So let me add this one. Email, if I'm not mistaken. Let me add, I guess, joseph.morco@bicol-u.edu.ph. Tama ba? Is that right? Okay, so that's it. That's my contact detail. So thank you very much and have a nice day, everyone. Keep safe. Goodbye.